everybody, and welcome to the Storm Hunters podcast. I am Josh Zorn, and joining me is Steven Anderson. Say hello.
Hi.
This is the first podcast we've been able to do in 2 or 3 months, so it's sort of like a season premiere, almost like starting our summer season of them. We got some different topics to get to today. A variety of active weather going on throughout the province today as well. First of all, also want to welcome Katie Nymanen, who's joining us via Skype tonight.
Hello.
And can you hear?
Mhm.
Good. Okay. So for anybody watching, if you're not already aware, there was a brief tornado touchdown in Saskatchewan around 4 o'clock this afternoon, I believe it was. It touched down briefly, so it was reportedly, from what I've heard, only about maybe 10 seconds. And there were 3 other separate funnels before that. This is all coming from SaskatchewanWeather.ca live streamer Ryan Kraus. He apparently streamed the tornado live as it touched down. Have not seen any photos or footage from that yet, but we're hoping to have that later on. We'll post that on the website as that comes available. But in the meantime, we have plenty of other things to talk about, including the weather so far this year. We just want to update you for anybody watching from in the Saskatchewan area. I believe all watches and warnings have ended. When I last checked, the only watch that was in effect still was a tornado watch in the just north of Yorkton, but that watch was expected to end within the next hour. So we should be clear for the severe weather as far as severe weather goes tonight. So we don't have any special guests like we sometimes do tonight, but we decided sort of to have a roundtable since we haven't done this a podcast in so long. We sort of decided, well, we probably have enough things that we can just sort of talk about on our own and take questions and stuff and interact with our viewers as well. Steven, are you on Google or something?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the things that's been going on lately has been just the active weather in Saskatchewan lately. Katie, have you seen any photos and stuff going around the province over the last couple weeks?
I have. I've been mainly looking at your photographs, which are amazing, by the way. Yeah, I've been looking at the photographs of lots of the wall clouds, especially that you've been taking pictures of, and they're spectacular.
Yeah, we've been the one good storm that we've gotten on so far this year went literally right over Regina. And Steven, I don't know, did you see any pictures from that? Because you weren't with me that day, but it came like right to us. That's Mothership. Did you see the video from that?
I
Yeah.
saw that.
So that was very interesting because I saw photos of that as it started in like the south end of Regina, and then it slowly, and so as there's these different photos coming in from everybody on Twitter, and that's one of the things that's really neat about Twitter is you get all these different reports from people who are just out shopping or whatever, different places in the city. And so then this thing basically came right to us, and as we got out and watched it, we actually watched the wall cloud start to dissipate, and it sort of just got sucked back up into the storm, and then after that started to lose its energy. But it was still a very photogenic storm because it had so much. You could literally see the rotation in it, which was a really cool opportunity to be able to film and photograph that. But yeah, that's been the biggest storm for us. We've only had. I should have checked this before we did the show. I think we've only had. Maybe either you guys can agree or disagree with me on this. We've only had maybe 2 or 3 reported touchdowns in the province of tornadoes so far. Is that right? If we count today, there was one yesterday, I believe, and I think that was it. Does
Wow.
that sound right? Steven, what are you doing?
Nothing.
My bandwidth is dropped.
Nothing.
Do you want to pause the video?
Sure.
And then just work off the chat. Okay, sorry everybody. We're just having a little sorting out some of our technical stuff here. So yeah. What if anybody's watching on the live chat, just want to make sure that it's coming through to you okay, because I'm getting a alert here. Bear with us, please. This is our first time with this new platform. This is very bizarre. Okay, we're going to continue anyways. But yeah, and that's something I want to ask you, Katie. Have you noticed in your time, I don't know how much you use Twitter and stuff, but do you notice that sort of thing regularly of enjoying being able to get sort of up to the minute reports, especially when it comes to things like weather? Do you find that that's useful? Because I think a lot of people do. Do you kind of find the same thing?
Yeah, I do find it useful because, I check, social networks a lot more than, say, the news or even the radio. So it's kind of convenient to just be able to, oh, hey, let's check Twitter. I can check the news, I can check my friends, I can check everything, and especially the weather is right there on my feed. It's really convenient. And if there's ever any, watches, warnings, whatever, it's right up to the minute live updates of whatever's happening. And then there's always links to live streams or what I need to look at, and it's really great, really convenient, fast, and interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the main things about mobile platforms and stuff in general, is that it's very convenient, and I think that that's what a lot of people find. That's a good point. The font is red. Yes, it is, Stephen. It's supposed to be red. I hope it's coming through for everybody. If you want to send me a tweet.
It wasn't always red.
It wasn't? Still figuring out this whole thing here. So, what was it? Steven, do you find the same thing? You like being able to get updates on what's going on in different places with the weather?
Especially, yeah. I move around a lot. Like, we don't move around, but we're a busy family, so it's good to know what we're getting into before it even begins.
Yeah, that's true. So, one of the other things I wanted to bring up, and unfortunately this happened since our last podcast. May 31st was a tragic day. Well, it was a series of tragic days for tornadoes in the United States, and that was really tough to watch, especially seeing some of the video. Moore, Oklahoma. I actually saw some of that live streamed as I was going through town. That's just a sickening feeling when you watch that. When you're watching this live. This big, what did that come out as? But did that come out as an F5? I can't remember.
I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
But the El Reno tornado in El Reno, Oklahoma, was an F5, and that sadly took the life of 3 storm chasers and researchers. Two of which were featured on the Discovery Channel Storm Chasers for 4 years, and so that was a big blow to the weather community. And our thoughts go out to those families. Has anybody seen any videos lately that they've either from the U.S. or from Canada of weather that they have found really interesting or weird? Or a weather story that you've seen that's of late that's really odd that we should maybe talk about?
Weather, interesting.
If you want to Google, Katie, I don't know if you saw it or not, but there was this giant hailstorm in New Mexico, I believe it was. It literally looked like it snowed. Hit this town overnight.
Hailstorm.
Yeah, and they had to get the snowplows out to clear the way because of the snowstorm. That was.
Oh my goodness! I can see this. Oh my goodness! Yes, it is. Wow.
Yeah, I should have had a photo.
In some places, it looks like it's like deep with the plows. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it kind of looks like Saskatchewan in November, and then in January it's 3 times that. But that's one weird thing. I'm gonna play a video here from Ryan Krause. hope this should work fine for everybody. Yeah, this is a video. What you're looking at right now is from Steven. You probably won't be able to see it. And Katie won't be able to. Unfortunately, we got to get that worked out. But this video was just, I believe, oh man, I'm going to screw this up for Ryan. West of Yorkton, I believe it was.
I see it.
You see it? Okay, that's good. 2 days ago. Is that what it was? Yeah, right. All the days are blurred here. We've got storms constantly, almost every day.
2 days ago.
I'm losing track of my
Thursday?
days. Last night I went out to get lightning shots and I totally got disappointed.
I think it's more.
Got a little bit of structure, but anyways, this storm did produce a funnel cloud, which you'll see a little later on in the video if it gets to that point. Unfortunately, I can't speed it up or anything. I should have cropped it, but yeah. So as you can see, a very interesting shelf cloud there going towards Yorkton. Yorkton got hit once again today. They had a parade there today, and that got totally rained on. And Ryan's been live streaming throughout the day, and he eventually got on the lone tornado that was reported today. And we'll be posting photos and video of that probably, hopefully tomorrow sometime on Facebook and Twitter and on the website. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, so that was one of the interesting things that's been happening as of late that I thought I'd show. Steven, what's been up with you lately? We went chasing.
A while ago.
Yeah, when did we last go?
I don't
Last time we went was when we ended up going down the dirt road and everything, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think it was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was. We went chasing after some lightning
Was that
shots.
rodeo weekend? Was that what did we do?
That was rodeo weekend. That was
Yeah, okay,
Father's Day
I know what
weekend.
you're
Yep.
talking about.
So that was a bit of a bust. That'll all be in the Storm Hunters web series this fall, which was really exciting. It's still underway, and this next week, we're going to talk about this in a minute. The setup over the next week is looking potentially interesting for storms in southern Saskatchewan. So we'll be documenting that as much as possible. Probably going to be out in some rural areas, so we may not have constant internet access to be able to send updates. So if that happens, I apologize for that. But the other thing we've been working on is, Katie, do you like remote control things?
Oh, yes.
Things. I can't. What's a word for that? Or, Steven?
Things.
You're my dictionary.
Yeah.
Things.
Things.
Synonyms for things.
I like stuff.
RC stuff. Well, basically,
Oh,
yeah,
like
we're
drones
working on RC stuff
Yeah, drones.
to be able to launch, to get and deploy, to get the best possible footage for our YouTube channel and for our web series. And
wow.
so one of the things that we've recently acquired and been working with is a RC helicopter probe, which actually has a mini video camera mounted underneath it. So anybody who's maybe follows me on Facebook's probably seen a little bit of video from that a few weeks ago. Just did another test flight of that the other night. And we're going to be deploying that over the next week and trying to get some shots of that. It's a finicky thing. I'm the pilot, and I'm not. It's just what are you looking at?
You pronouncing your words.
It doesn't. Yeah, I know. I can't multitask. I can't multitask. It's a tricky thing to fly because you get it too high up, it seems to want to drop, and I don't want it to drop out of the sky. As much as that would make for interesting video. You know.
Multitasker.
Yeah, multitasker. So that's something that we're working on the next week. The other thing that we worked on the last couple days is Steven's ringtone. As a remote control probe that's just 4 wheels. It's on the ground. They're going to mount a GoPro to, and they're going to be able to get wide shots of us sitting in the car, in front of the car, in front of a storm, and it's basically going to be like a remote control camera that we can just move around anywhere. So we're going to give that a shot over the next week too and see how that goes. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work. And the other thing we were working on a few weeks ago was our kite probe. sort of given up on that for now. It actually worked really good. We got a really cool video of that. But anyways, was there any? I'm gonna open this up to anybody. Gonna do an open discussion here for anybody. Anybody has any topics or questions on the chat? Something you want us to talk about? Katie, do you have anything you want to talk about particularly tonight?
Not particularly.
Anything on the live chat here, Steven?
Nope. Nothing. Oh crap!
What'd you do?
I accidentally hit enter. I was still typing.
Well, I'll keep typing. So we talked about social media and weather, about sending alerts. But another thing that I wanted to talk about was, and I think that's starting to see more commonly as the technology advances, is live video. And today's been a perfect example of that. As Ryan Krause and Greg Johnson have been chasing and streaming for the most part today as much as they can. Do you guys think, Steven, do you think, I want to put this to you first, do you think that that's an effective way of getting warnings out to people?
What was the question?
Using the use of live video in the warning process.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It all depends if people were actually to see it. Like, they have to be on whatever. I don't know. Just send out a
If
siren.
they're at home in the path of a storm, do you think people are going to watch that more than... Because around here, television alerts are not really that common unless you're watching the Weather Network, right? Like,
Yeah.
local TV doesn't do a whole lot to cover stuff. Radio is getting there, and I think radio actually gets a lot of its use out of live video. What would you say, Katie?
Yeah, I think live video is an effective way for people to know about like of course people are going to hear about, watches and warnings, but people might not understand the severity of what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people will be like, oh yeah, like there's a severe thunderstorm watch, for example, or a tornado warning, and if that develops into something, more than just a watch or warning, if something comes out of that, people might not understand or comprehend, the danger or severity of that. And I think if they see a live video, it might help them understand, and help them to take precautions after seeing that.
I kind of disagree there. Like, if we're talking about just Saskatchewan, I don't really see a whole usefulness. Like, sure, we can have, I don't know, like, we're not going to take over every program because there might be a funnel cloud, but we don't really get tornadoes a lot in Saskatchewan, opposed to Texas where they get them, like, every week. So, up here, I don't really see it. Maybe just put, like, a video out, sure. Have a thing at the bottom of the screen telling you to just batten down the hatches, but that's my opinion.
So you don't think that live video is useful in Saskatchewan? Say that, like, read that,
Not
elaborate on that a
particularly.
bit more. I'm glad we're having
No.
a discussion about this.
Not really.
Because, is that just because you don't watch it regularly, or?
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, because this is Saskatchewan. We don't have a lot of, I don't know, nice weather here a lot.
Yeah.
We have winter. Unless there's tornadoes in the winter, I think we'll be
But
good.
there's tornadoes are a bit more isolated than winter weather, though, right?
Yeah,
Because winter weather can be more widespread, but you can have a tornado warning, especially in Saskatchewan. I heard this talked about a little earlier, is that in Saskatchewan you have basically your RMs, and if you look on the Environment Canada warning map, say on like their website, it's divided up into pretty large areas. You could have a tornado warning in Yorkton, but that area surrounding it is going to appear as a... You could have a tornado in Yorkton, and that whole area surrounding it would be listed as a warning, even though there'd be a tornado here and there could be blue sky coming at the other corner of that RM, right?
Mhm.
So seeing the real-time video from that storm gives you better, and especially if you have like a map to see where that camera is located, that is very useful for people as well, because that they can see where the tornado is, and that can either confirm to them that they need to take shelter or not. I'm not saying if there's a tornado warning, go check a live stream before you take shelter. Definitely take shelter. That's not a risk you want to take. Don't take that chance at all. Heed all warnings.
Exactly.
But does that not convince you about live video?
Not really. Like, it just comes down to it. Like, are people actually gonna watch it? Because, there's like, if anyone's on TV, it's to watch a movie or to watch TV. Yes, it just doesn't happen a lot in Saskatchewan. And besides, we're all farmers, so most of us are farmers. You city people are city farmers. In Saskatchewan, we're like all farmers. I'm a farmer.
You're a farmer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know.
Never been to your farm.
I have. But
in your dreams?
Nope. But anyways, I don't know. It's common sense too. Just get in the cellar. I don't know. But it is a good thing to have. I agree. But comes to a point that are people going to pay attention to it?
Okay, what do you suggest is a better alternative to live video to get people to, one, understand where the watches and warnings are happening, and two, understand when they're happening, and three, understand the severity and danger to what's happening in that area? What's a better solution?
I am so glad we haven't done this in so long, because we get so many good debates out of this. It's a lot more entertaining.
Well, honestly, just look outside.
Just look outside.
So there's a tornado moving at 50 miles per hour towards you.
Yeah, I'm gonna look outside.
Let's go look outside and see if a piece of debris can hit me in the head.
Well, if there's debris flying, don't go outside. Yeah.
Okay, but what about people on the road? Because in this day and age, people can be driving down the road with their iPad and watching for updates, either Twitter or live video, and they could be driving into a storm. They want to know if that storm's tornado warned or if that storm has a tornado threat. Do you think that in that situation it's helpful?
In driving in a car with your iPad on the internet, just driving.
No, two people. One person's driving. One is the iPad. Don't put this away for what it's supposed to be.
Yes. Okay. In that instance, sure. Why not? Because you're in a car. You're not in a house.
So it's safer if you're in a house to have a tornado hit you.
Yes.
But what if you're in the basement?
I just go in the basement.
But how are you gonna know to go in the basement?
I don't know. I know.
Yeah, what's a good solution to get the message out that you need to take cover, or what's a good solution to let people know that they might have to evacuate? Like, then what?
I know that some areas, I think some cities are starting to look at disaster alert systems that basically will send emails or texts to everybody who lives in that city, I believe, is my understanding of how it works. I'm not sure what the response time is for that. I don't think it's really can be utilized for the quick situation of tornado, because as it is, and I mean, there are meteorologists and scientists and storm chasers working to improve this, but our warning time for these tornadoes is very short, typically. And live video is a way of getting an eye on the ground, and that can also help meteorologists who are sitting back in a warning center. I know that they sometimes watch those live feeds because they get an eye on the ground. They see it real time for themselves rather than relying on potentially unreliable storm spotter or just not storm spotter because they're trained, but just passers-by reports saying, oh, there's a big funnel cloud coming down, when it could just be a bunch of scud or whatever underneath it, right? So, that I think it's a useful tool for the warning process, if nothing else, for meteorologists. So, any other comments on that? Because it's a good discussion to have, because there are a lot of people doing this, especially in the U.S. It's fairly few and far between in Canada. We have a few good people who are really good at it, and we're working on getting our platform perfected and to help get the warnings out and stuff like that as well. So it's things like Skycams and mobile feeds, help cover that. And especially for rural areas, because people who are living out on a farm okay, there's a tornado warning in this area, but it could come unexpectedly. But
Just looking something up.
you're looking something up. Why? You looking for a comeback?
Oh,
we
no,
have a-
no, I lost. I'm fine with that.
You lost.
Yeah,
Do you agree with our point of view now?
no.
Well, next week we'll have to, or
Yeah,
next
we will.
episode we'll have to keep working on that. We have a question on the live chat from It's Super Cody. What's the biggest size of a tornado ever recorded? Well, the widest tornado in history was actually just recorded this year.
It
The
was the Oklahoma.
El Reno tornado, which we talked about earlier, May 31st. That was an F5, wind speeds over 300 miles per hour, I believe it was. Well, that is what an F5 basically fits into. But it was 2.5 miles wide. It's been a while, but yeah, it was 2.5 miles wide. It grew from half a mile to 2.5 miles wide in less than a minute. And so that got a lot of chasers, and it took a right turn as well, and that threw a lot of storm chasers who were watching it off. And also even Saskatchewan-based chaser Greg Johnson and his team were down there, and they almost got caught up in it. Well, they did get caught up in it. They got hit by debris and everything. You can check out their video. But
Is it possible to have tornadoes in Bangladesh?
oh yeah,
Okay, because I'm reading this off Wikipedia, so I'm
well,
questioning this, but it says the deadliest tornado in world history was the blah blah in Bangladesh in April 26, 1989, which killed approximately 1,300 people. Bangladesh has had at least 19 tornadoes in its history, kill more than 100 people. That's a lot of people to die.
so as far as size, just overall,
What's the
not wind
deadliest one?
speed, just the biggest size, it's the El Reno tornado.
Yes.
So that hopefully that
Seems
answers
legit.
your question. Moving on, what was the other thing we are gonna move on to here? If we have any other questions on the chat, feel free to plug those in. So yeah, the debate about live video can go on and on, but the truth is that there are people doing it, and I think it's. I know I enjoy it, and when I'm not out chasing, but I'm at home watching radar, I like being able to see the radar signature, and then I see in real time what the storm looks like at the base. So.
Very cool.
What else do we want to talk about? Shoot, I lost my train of thought again because I got going.
Because you're a terrible multitasker.
I am. It's no joke. That's why I don't like chasing alone.
There you go. Because then somebody else can steer while you take pictures.
That hasn't happened yet, but
Sure.
it could happen.
I'm-
Storm season for the rest of Saskatchewan. What do you guys think? We talked about this a while ago. I think I talked about this with somebody else. Somebody asked. I was talking about this with Nani Barasa. I think it was Crockett Duck a while ago about what we thought would be the potential for seeing for tornadoes and severe weather in Saskatchewan this year. What do you guys think? We sort of talked about, Katie and I talked about this before, sort of unmeteorological opinions. Now that we're sort of halfway into the season, do you think it's going to heat up more than it has already? I mean, it is starting to heat up, would you say?
Yeah, I think it is starting to heat up, but I'm not. You know, we had a bunch of rain, and then it did get quite hot at the beginning of this week. At the beginning of and you know, it's been up and down, but I think it's going to continue to stay warm, which might produce, you know, more severe and active weather with that.
Yeah, the heat and humidity alone has been pretty intense the last week or two.
Yes.
And that has helped trigger just thunderstorms in general. And then we've had instability on numerous occasions that's really helped those storms go severe. And Reed Timmer just today, I believe, was talking about a new trough coming in potentially next week sometime that could bring, you know, a risk for even more severe weather, you know, higher potential for tornadoes and stuff than we saw today. So we'll see how that plays out. one of the biggest things that we've been lacking, though, we've had the instability for those storms to go severe, but we really haven't had consistent events with a lot of wind shear that causes those storms to rotate, right? So today I think we had a bit more of that in the east, which triggered those tornado watches and eventually warnings. But
We have
Yeah.
a question from the chat.
we do.
Josh, what are your plans for continuing in the future of weather?
Plans in what way? Would it be plans
For continuing in the future of weather.
Say the question over again. Does it really? Well, you know, definitely, once a storm chaser, once a weather enthusiast, always a weather enthusiast, always a storm chaser is basically how I
Roll
would
of planes.
say that. But what are you looking at?
There's an ad.
That's
Weather.
nice.
It's World of Planes.
Do I start playing games on us? My sort of the thought in the back of my head, to be honest, would definitely be just go into studying meteorology. It's not something that I've ruled out yet. That's for sure. And so that's something that I'm strongly considering. And until then, I'm just gonna keep working at furthering my knowledge as best I can through learning from other people's experiences and other people who are knowledgeable and educated, such as guys like Reed Timmer and stuff, who have been doing this for years and in their own way and that sort of thing. So I hope that kind of answers your question, but that's a great question. I'm happy to answer any questions like that. Steven, I know you're interested in aeronautics, am I correct?
Aeronautics? Aerodynamics?
No, aeronautics, flying planes.
Not anymore.
You're not?
Nope.
What are you into now?
Nothing. Nothing really.
You have no career
Nope.
plan whatsoever.
Not really.
Wow, what a hopeless.
I got a few ideas, but no.
Let's pass this question around the whole virtual round table here. Katie, how about you?
Plans for what? For career?
Yeah, or stuff you'd like to study more about
20
in
questions.
general. Maybe not necessarily as a career, but
Can it fit in the
typically when you study something that has something to do with a career. But
Questions. It's like 20
Stuff
questions.
that I like. I really like biology and that type of stuff. I also really like chemistry. I'm not one for physics, though. I must say I don't. I don't like that part of science, but I'm probably I like meteorology, weather as a hobby, but I don't know if I would dive into that as a career. But I would definitely check it out as a hobby, take a few pictures here and there of storms and keep up to date with all of Josh's wonderful live streams and pictures. But in terms of what I like to study, I probably will study, biology, chemistry, maybe be even as far as geology, which I think would be really interesting. You also get to travel around outdoors and study different land, rocks, whatever. And if I take another turn on it, I like chemistry. I might dive into pharmacy or something like that. Yeah, those are the kinds of things that I like. And of course, photography, but
Very cool. I have a bit of a non-weather related question to put to the round table. Are you a movie critic now?
Well, no.
Somebody would
the
like
movie,
to know
the movie
what we
critic
all
guy
think.
from CBC said that.
Some have a bit of a non-weather related question to put to the round table here. What do we all think of the Monsters Inc. second movie? Was it Monsters University? I guess it's called.
Yeah. Goes back
Has
in
anybody
time.
seen it yet? That's maybe that would be a good thing to ask first.
I have not seen that movie. No.
Neither have I. Have you seen it?
No.
So sorry, nobody's seen it on this panel.
The commercials look fantastic, but
They do.
I
Look,
have not seen it.
commercials do look good, but no, I'm one of those people. Most movies, I'll wait till they come out on DVD or I could get them online or something like that. I'm not, or they're in the Toonie Tuesday at the cheap theater.
Tuesday.
They used to have that in Regina.
Yeah.
But
And they condemned it.
has anybody seen? We'll get back to that in a minute. Has anybody seen Twister on this panel?
What? That's like a.
I have
isn't that
not.
like a 10-year-old movie. Like
Well, it's
this-
old.
Yeah, it's an old movie. Yeah, I saw a little bit of it when they all hide in the barn or something.
You know what? This is, hopefully not everybody who follows me watches this. This is going to be a really bad confession. But I have not seen the entire movie of Twister.
Oh my! No, I haven't.
There's people on Twitter, I know, storm chasers who are, just watch that
You seen Ratatouille?
every month. Right? What does that have to do with anything?
It's a food.
I've seen that a lot. Or
good
no,
movie.
I mean not. What am I talking about?
Ratatouille.
I have not seen the entire thing of Twister. I went on YouTube and I watched the last 10 minutes of the movie.
See, it's funny.
And that was
'cause
it.
A rat doesn't cook.
We're not talking about Ratatouille anymore.
Yeah, I know.
And so I watched like almost the last bit of the movie of Twister just to see. I don't know. I think I just searched it up and the clip of the ending came up. It's like, okay, I'll watch this, see how it ends. So now I don't know if I want to watch the whole thing.
Do they all die?
It seems pretty neat.
Do they all die?
And it sounds actually really a lot like what guys like Tim Samaras and stuff were trying to accomplish.
Does
But
the clouds like clear and then like a rainbow comes out? Is that it?
no, they get chased by a tornado.
Do they die?
No.
Well, way to give away the ending.
Technically speaking,
some
it is the
cows get-
debris that kills you. And this is a debate that will go on for a long time. It's the debris that kills you. They somehow had the tornado go right over top of them, tied themselves to a pipe in the ground, and
makes sense.
survived.
That makes sense.
It makes sense that they don't go flying up in the air. It doesn't make sense that it destroyed a barn 50 yards away and no piece of debris hits them. But, it's Hollywood. What am I to argue with Hollywood?
Mario. Man.
I'm just a weather person and I know nothing about storms.
Well, so we're gonna change our name from Saskatchewan Weather to like Saskatchewan Movies. So.
Yeah.
we're
New
gonna-
production company.
Yep.
Screw the storm chasing. It's all
Stupid.
it's all it's all CG and effects now. So yeah, back to Monsters University. I've not seen it. I'd like to see it maybe in a year. I'm not jumping to see it.
Nope.
Is anybody else jumping to see it?
I'm definitely jumping to see it. I pre-ordered the DVDs already. I'm so excited. I'm popping my popcorn.
Pre-order that stuff.
Yes, of course I do. It's Monsters University. I pre-order everything.
I didn't know you
Pre-order.
could pre-order movies.
You didn't know that? Jeez, you're so behind the loop. Come
Mr.
on.
Netflix. He sits at home with his
I did watch
giant
Netflix, like,
TV
every
and his
day.
underwear and watches Netflix. It's not that I've seen
I've
that.
gone
And
through,
heaven
like,
forbid,
I've
I'll
gone-
never see that. But
I've gone through like every TV show on Netflix. So.
are any of them actually good?
Yeah, it was actually a lot good. How I Met Your
Like,
Mother.
what's the best thing you've ever
Family
seen
Guy.
on Netflix that you haven't seen on TV before that you just ran across?
How I Met Your Mother. It's a good show.
You never saw that on TV before.
No.
I
There's a few other ones that are bad.
yeah,
Well, they're not bad. They're just
stupid.
14A. You guys like chasing storms in the summer or winter better?
Got a question?
Okay, yeah. Summer. Summer.
Well,
Summer. Like
That's a good question because you really have to live with winter when
Winter
when
sucks.
you're a storm chaser in
Summer good.
Saskatchewan.
winter suck.
We're getting there. What do you,
except for
okay, what's your
snowboarding.
opinion on this, Steven?
Summer.
You don't talk much.
Summer.
Let's get your opinion.
Summer.
Glad we have another
'Cause I
weather
can't write a
question
s-
because we were getting off topic there, even
Well,
though
just
it's
hold
good
on,
to
just
discuss
hold on.
random
I like
things in
winter
this
for like
podcast.
three
but
things. For the buses don't run some days. It's cool at night. It's just me. I don't know why. And I can snowboard. Summer, because it's hot. It's nice. It's hot.
So,
There's no snow.
you like. So the biggest thing that you do in the winter is snowboard.
You can wear shorts.
He's talking about
You
do
can
you
eat
like
freezies.
chasing storms, not whether you like the outdoor
I
activities.
know. I'm getting to that. Jeez. And plus,
me.
and plus, we get tornadoes in the summer,
Okay,
not the winter. We get blizzards.
that's true.
It is true.
If you
And
ask,
thunderstorms and rain and anything else that Josh is going to disprove me on.
I'm not disproving you on what we get in the summer. That's all true fact.
Sure.
But it's a bit of a toss up. But I mean, some Steven's making funny faces at me.
Who are you?
Steve, no, summer definitely because
Yeah.
you get so much better. You get an opportunity, even if you don't get a tornado or you don't get lightning. As long as you can stay out of the hail and you can stay out of the head of the storm, you have a chance to get some incredible structure shots, and that's something that really, inspires
have to
me as a
shovel.
photographer. As I love to
Summer.
get photos of great storm structure, even if it isn't a funnel or a tornado, even though that's the ultimate prize, and we really hope to be able to get a great one this year yet, and also getting footage of that, right? In the wintertime, it's blizzards are good to be able to document as far as video wise. They're not so photogenic in that you can go out with your camera and start taking pictures of them. Snow is snow, really. However, this past winter, I mean, you could take a picture of any Saskatchewan highway, and people in Florida or even in Oklahoma and stuff would just have their jaws drop to the floor, right? They wouldn't be able to believe that we drive on highways like that. But that's just sort of the way it is. So but it's difficult to chase in winter because that's a danger is the road conditions, and that often prevents you from chasing. So
We have another question.
well, maybe we'll end the show with that, a
Okay.
non-weather debate.
Everyone will be mad at
Good
each other.
round table debate tonight here, everybody. A good discussion here. So I don't know. What do you think, Katie? Do you like winter or summer storms better as far as taking pictures and watching them?
Yeah, I'll have to go with summer too. I mean, the winter is pretty cool to take pictures of big, mounds of snow or big drips, and and all the people from down in the States, like you said, they rave about, oh my goodness, that's so crazy. But in the summer, it's so cool to take pictures of, shelf clouds, wall clouds, or, if you're lucky enough, funnel clouds or tornadoes or whatever it might be. And it's so interesting. Every cloud formation is different. They're never, the same. They're all unique in their own way, and they can come out with some really fantastic looking shots. So I'd say summer.
Yeah. So I think we have a pretty good decision on that one. Steven's starting a discussion about gaming systems
Yep.
on the
'Cause
chat.
we're gonna end it with this.
I
think
know.
that's what he said.
I said maybe.
PC isn't an option. I'm sorry.
For
Yes, it's good. Whatever. I
Okay,
don't play it.
so
I'm just out of the
he
two.
wants to get we want to get this off our chests, I
It's
guess.
not. It's not like I'm asking you which is better, hot dog or hamburger, and you say corn dog.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Corn dog. Hamburger.
Yeah. Well, it depends what kind of hot dog, but let's not get
What?
on to that.
What's the same hot dogs?
No, there's certain depending who. See, now you got me started on this. Stop it. Okay,
What kind of hot dogs are there?
Katie and I both have PS3. Steven has an Xbox. So
Suck
it's
it.
2 against 1. But
Woohoo!
would you, Steven? You said to me you wouldn't mind having a PS3, right?
No, not anymore.
No, you
No.
stick with Xbox.
Yeah.
What about Xbox One though? I've heard.
I'll stick with it.
Well, you don't even have an Xbox One, but would you get
No,
it?
that's what you say. Mary gave birth to Jesus, and and Jesus is the Lamb of God. Did Mary have a little? That's funny. I get it.
There's actually a song that goes like that.
No,
have you
no,
not
I
heard
know
the
but
song?
that. No, like
It's-
that's. No,
Well, yeah, it's totally
that's-
true.
I didn't think about that. Is that how it? Is that what the song's about? We're just gonna be jumping around from
I
conversation. to
don't
conversation.
actually know, but let's move on.
Okay, well we'll come
Let's
back
go-
to nursery rhymes in a second. Let's go back to PS3, PS4.
Katie, would you buy the PS4?
I would buy the PS4, yes.
No, we gotta get
Not
this
the
answer from
Xbox
PC
One, though.
Man. We gotta get the PC man because he's Switzerland right now. It's a joke. Switzerland, they didn't do anything in World War II. They were neutral.
Now we're talking about World War II.
No, well, in case people don't get it. Okay, come on, it's Super Cody.
There's a little bit of a delay from when you speak to what he sees.
Well, yeah, I know. And
It's
he's
just
not
the
gonna
way
be,
the internet
He's
works.
not gonna be hearing this till 2 seconds later, so
Take it back.
we just have to wait.
Can't take it back now.
We have to
No.
wait.
So,
No.
if you want my opinion,
Oh, here we go.
I'm perfectly happy to stick with a PS3. until I cannot get anything new or updated for it, which will
I
be a
know,
long time.
I know, but I'm telling you, decide. Pick a side, Josh.
If I didn't,
Salt or pepper?
are you say if I did have a PS3 today, would I rather have
Cajun
an
or
Xbox
paprika?
One or or a PS4? Is that what you're asking?
I.
I matey. So I'd go with PS4 because you still have to pay for so much stuff with an Xbox One.
Yeah, but you're gonna have
It's
to pay
so
for
stupid.
PS4 too.
What?
You're gonna have to pay for PS4 too.
Oh yeah, they made it so that you have to have PlayStation Plus. So then you'll have to pay a subscription just like Xbox. It'll be like $5 cheaper, but that's it.
PlayStation Plus. That's the
Right,
That's the
but
subscription
they're gonna
to,
make
the
it
web to
mandatory.
the store. So
Right,
they make
but
it
there's,
mandatory that you
Yeah.
pay. There's been so
Yes.
many things changing in this market because there was when the
'Cause they need to make
Xbox
money.
One first came out, there was a whole slew of
Right.
people like there's stuff wrong with it. I never heard what that was. What the problems were with it. Did anybody hear that? And then they came out like the next day, we've changed this, we've changed this, we've
Oh,
changed this.
no.
No, we don't know that. Xbox spies on you apparently.
Yeah, because of the new motion thing, you can tell it to turn on.
Oh yeah.
Who cares? God.
You know, it's
Okay.
probably like it's probably
Okay.
the NSA.
Well,
It's
don't.
probably the NSA's part of that. Where's Snowden when you need him? It's probably
I think-
Xbox is probably part of that whole thing.
Yes, he's part of WikiLeaks. Xbox is directly part of WikiLeaks.
That's not what
They're
I'm saying.
leaking intel about the CIA.
Okay,
on
let's
Xbox.
move on.
Nope, we're not.
Storm
Okay,
Hunters
well-
web series coming this fall. Who is excited about that?
Not me.
Not you.
'Cause I'm
You're
mad.
in
I'm
it.
mad now. Oh, okay, well.
I've been working on this hard. You better be. Steven is in it in a bit, and we just finished the show opening title sequence for the season a couple weeks ago, which is really awesome. You saw it. Did you like it?
Yes.
Let the Xbox thing go for now.
No.
What?
Well, because he's saying
Oh, shit.
Xbox spies on you. Well, then don't be naked
I'm
in
not
front of the Xbox. Or, like, just do all that stuff when you Xbox in the next room. Frick, it's not like you live in a house with only one room and it's like one giant room.
I'm turning your mic off now. Okay, so, Josh, if you could make a storm, real or not, what kind of storm would it be?
Still on?
Now you're on. Okay, we have an actual legitimate discussion here now. Are you ready to be quiet?
Yep.
So we might end this off, and we'll put this to everybody. We're just going to talk about the web series for a second. So that's coming out sometime this fall. We don't have an exact release date yet because it's still a few months away, obviously. And we have a whole lot of several weeks potentially of severe weather yet, and we'll be filming the web series throughout those weeks. Anytime we're out chasing, we'll be filming for the web series. So we've been trying to. So far, our season has sort of been Storms of Fire too far away, or we've been busy with other things. Sort of today, we had a lot of things going on we weren't able to chase, and all the action was really too far away for us to really be able to catch up to by the time it started, and we were busy with other things and stuff. So, but we made the most of our opportunities so far this year, and I think this next week's gonna net us some more good footage and stuff for the series, and editing is in full swing for that. We already have like 4 episodes done, so that's exciting. And if anybody has any questions about that, you can ask at any time, and I'll answer them all openly. There's no secrets or anything about the web series. There's just certain types of footage that we're only releasing in the web series. But Steven's deleting his own comments now.
Oops. I don't know what to do. What did I just do?
You said you
Did I put it
removed
back?
it. I don't think you just type it again.
Oh, well, it wasn't my
Sheesh.
question. It wasn't my question.
Sheesh.
Whatever, it's
Okay, well,
Josh's
Katie
question.
has to leave us soon here, so we're gonna put this question to her. Well, it was directly to me,
Says
so I'll answer
Josh.
it first.
Yeah, Katie and dude, she probably has a
Cody,
better
if you have a
answer.
question,
She has a
Super
better
Cody,
answer.
if you have a question for Katie, you can ask it as well.
Oh, whatever.
She can hear you or
Let's do
hear
a round
us.
table.
Well,
What's yours? What's
Myra,
yours, Josh?
okay. You
Oh.
taking over this show now?
Yep. Do it.
I'm glad somebody's taking
Give me
over
the
the
music
show now. I
thing.
set this all up, and then you just show up and
yeah,
do
exactly.
your thing. So, yeah.
We'll do my thing.
What kind of storm would it be? Well, it would be a storm that is not in a populated area and wouldn't do any damage to a farmer's
Well, that's
field.
no fun.
It's not in a populated area?
No, I don't want it to kill people. No, I don't think he's talking about where to put it. I think he's just talking about make a storm. What kind of storm would it be?
Well, that's tough because, you know what? A perfect storm
oh, I got
that has it
I got
all.
it. I got
A good
it.
example is Superstorm Sandy.
I got it.
Is because one part of that storm there was a blizzard. Another part of that storm, it's basically like a hurricane battering the sea, the shore. And another part of that storm, there was risks of water spouts and stuff. Like, with a hurricane, there's always risks of that as well. So you kind
I
of
got
get
a
a
good
toss-up
one.
of
I
it.
got a good one.
Steven has a good one. He's
Go to
itching
Katie. Go to Katie.
Okay, Katie, do you have any things that you would put into a storm or examples of past storms that you would like to witness?
Storm that I would like to witness. Well, something. I mean, obviously, I don't want to be, in the danger of something, but it would be really interesting just to see the power of like Hurricane Katrina, just to be in the midst of that and to understand thoroughly what it was like to, to go through that and to know what the power of a hurricane can be like and just to see, well, obviously it's devastating to see all of the destruction, but it would just be amazing just to experience that and to understand, to comprehend how powerful it was.
So, Steven, what's your answer to the storm question?
There's a really cool thing that happens sometimes when a volcano erupts and a storm pretty much comes into contact with this, and it produces, it's called volcanic lightning.
Yes, I have seen photos
So,
of that.
I'm going to have that. I'll take that as my
Your
vote.
bucket list for storms?
Yep. Once I see that, I can be buried on top of Mount Everest with Morgan Freeman, Jack Nicholas, whatever his name is.
Jack Nicholas.
What was in the movie bucket list? Who was the other guy? Morgan Freeman and...
Like we talked about earlier, I do not watch a lot of movies.
He played the Joker in the old Batmans. What was his name?
Christian Bale?
What?
No. The
Joker.
guy's alive.
Joker.
Oops.
And no, it's
Christian
not
Bale.
the guy from Knight's Tale, whatever his name is. Oh, he died.
Okay, we're dropping this.
No, we hit what's... Okay, never mind. Just keep going.
Any other topics anybody wants to throw out for discussion?
So if you could hang out
Katie
with Hitler,
or Steven. No,
what
this
would
has
you do?
nothing. We're not discussing this right now. We have to wrap this up.
Shoot him. Maybe.
That's nice.
Well, it's Hitler. What would you do?
Moving on. So, Katie, anything
I don't
else
know.
you wanted to wrap up with tonight?
I don't think I'd hang
Hey,
out.
are you hoping to? What is your hope for storms this summer? Are you hoping to get some lightning shots, or what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, I obviously don't hope that a tornado comes ripping through Regina, but it would be, amazing to witness something like that. If it was, in a non-populated area, like you said, it would be cool to see something like that, or a severe thunderstorm with lots of lightning would be awesome to shoot. Especially, not so at night because it's kind of hard on cameras, but in the evening it would be really great to take a few pictures.
Sorry. Yes, that is very true. And actually, just the other night, one of my partners and I, we went out and got some lightning. The storms that developed to the east, we weren't able to get on those again, but we were able to watch it from a distance, and they're actually really cool to watch from a distance, because you could see the tops on them, just how tall they were, and it was the sunset, and it was lighting them up, and as it got dark, it had this really great. It was mainly sort of just lightning inside the cloud. It wasn't any CG strikes or anything because they were too far away, but it was just sort of in the storm. It was lighting up, and we got some cool photos and stuff from that, which you can see on our Facebook page. So thanks a lot, Katie, for joining us. I know you have to take off, but have a great night.
Yes.
and we'll hopefully be able to join up with you in another couple of weeks here. And just so everybody knows, we now have a calendar on the website for the podcast, so that when we have a new episode scheduled, we'll post it on Facebook, Twitter, etc. But we'll also post the event in a more just longer description and stuff of who's going to be on the show, what we're going to be talking about and stuff on that calendar, and you can get the time and the start time and stuff for that on there as well. So check that out. That's at saskatchewanweather.ca/podcast, and you can get the link to it from there, and you'll see the recent events. Our website's also ongoing some changes. If you haven't been on there for a while and you're checking it out, you'll probably notice a few things have been upgraded and updated, and we're going to have a whole new look and stuff for it to be unveiled fully by the time the web series comes out. It'll be timed with that, so looking forward to that. So thanks a lot, Katie, for joining us, and have a great night.
You're welcome. You too.
Katie.
And thanks for the input on all of our great topics tonight, and we'll continue the discussion about live video and stuff maybe another night as well. So Steven's talking about crap. Okay, thanks for watching.
Hey, wait.
Thanks.
Who would win, a bear or a shark?
What does this have to do with it?
A bear.
It's good. It's good.
A bear.
That's what
Okay,
that's
I've
what I
gotta
agreed
go.
to.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
All right, see ya. Bye.
Hung up on her.
You hung up on her?
You hung up on
No,
her.
she hung up on me.
You hang up
After
first.
she said bye.
You hang
Go
up first.
figure.
So,
What else did you want to talk about, Steven? We
to
have a
the
little bit
late
more.
night DJ.
We're going into second hour with the Josh and Steven show.
I have nothing else.
You have nothing else on tap to talk about?
Like anything? I
Yeah.
have lots to talk about of anything.
Does it have anything to do with current events or weather or storm
Yeah,
chasing?
just-
Not fantasy
What
things.
if
What
there
would
was
happen?
like if there was like a big barrel of like fire, like big barrel of like gasoline, and it caught fire and it was thrown into a tornado, would it be on fire while it was in the tornado?
You're asking me like physics and chemistry questions?
Pretty
now?
much. Would it stay? Because I don't know. There's abundance of air, or would it blow it out?
Well, something has to spark it first.
Yeah, I'm talking. It's already
The
lit.
tornado's not.
It's already
Oh,
lit.
it's already
and
lit.
then somebody threw it in. They just whipped it in the tornado. Okay? Would it stay lit as it went around and around?
Well, the oil's gonna go out of it probably.
Well, and it magically stays in.
Well, now when you start saying magically, then
Okay,
there's
fine.
really
There's
no
a lid on
legitimacy
top.
to
There's a lid on top that
the reality
is
of
glued
it.
shut, and there's a fire under in it, and you can see because somebody made a cut out the side and put like bulletproof glass or something there so they can see, and threw it in.
You know, as long as it has oxygen, I guess anything's possible. But if it's rain wrapped, there could be rain going into it and putting it out. So there's a lot of variables
Yeah,
to
but
consider.
it is gasoline, like a big barrel of gasoline.
It's just gasoline.
No, and there's puppies in there too.
What? Moving on.
No, you
This
didn't
is
answer my
going
question.
from a
and
very
it has something to do
unprofessional.
with
This is
weather.
going to a very
It's-
unprofessional
It has
discussion.
something to do with weather.
No, it doesn't.
Actually, it does. It's a
So,
tornado.
on that note,
Can there be fire in a tornado? Can the tornado be on fire?
Google it right now.
I'm-
You can find photos of mini tornadoes in forest fires and such. I'm not sure I think they just classify them as fire needles or something,
Tornadoes
if I'm not mistaken.
on fire.
I'm not too educated or experienced with
Fire.
those, but that is sort of how they classify things like that.
Whoa, it is such a thing.
Yeah.
But it's not really looks like a tornado. It's just like a big loop.
Well, yeah, it's like a gustnado, right? It just
Comes
doesn't
up with
have
these
a.
names. God, they're not really creative. Firenado, Gustnado. So why do they call a tornado a tornado? That's a good question.
That's something that maybe I'll have to, become a meteorologist to figure that out. I don't know.
There you go. See, that's a good question. It doesn't have anything to do with fire
Well, no, of course it doesn't have anything to
or
do with fire.
bears or sharks. Okay,
So,
I'm done.
over the next week, we're going to be out deploying our probes and getting footage and videos. So stay tuned for that next weekend. We won't have a show next weekend because we're going to be busy. After our week of storm chasing, we're going to be busy collecting all of our equipment and footage from that and posting that for you to see. So we won't have a show next weekend. The weekend after, that is not confirmed yet, but that is a possibility. So stay tuned to, like I said earlier, the calendar on the website and Facebook and Twitter to find out when our next show will be. We're hoping to have Ryan Kraus, who got the tornado today in Saskatchewan, on sometime. We're going to contact him and hopefully have him on as a guest at some point. And you can check out his website at yorktonstormhunter.com. Follow him on Twitter. He'll be posting some more photos and footage, I'm sure, later on tonight from the storms today. And I think that's about all we had to cover tonight. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Hope whether you're watching live or watching the recording, you enjoyed our roundtable discussion, sort of covering a variety of different topics. And hope you like our new format and design with the video player and everything like that. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Storm Hunters podcast. I'm Joshua Zorn, Stephen Anderson for SaskatchewanWeather.ca. Have a great night, everybody, and stay safe.